Hello, we're doing a special opening day podcast here on opening day, talking about the start of the baseball season. Finally,
It's been a long, long off season
yeah,
of a lot of nothingness actually.
yeah. It was like the year before. Actually, it was sort of all drawn out because all the big stuff happened at the end. There's like a lot of waiting. I mean, there was still news to come pretty much all off season.
Well, and there still is. There's two big free agents still left,
Yeah, I don't think maybe they're just going to have the year off.
or maybe they're going to
Or,
sign while we're recording this.
oh,
Um,
that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
yeah, that would be
To
quite funny.
immediately make our podcast out of date.
Yeah,
Um, Although it's not, I guess this podcast is going to go out of date quite quickly anyway because we're going to talk about opening day, which
yeah,
starts in
in
5 hours.
5 hours roughly. So yeah, we're basically we should get on with it then, I guess.
Yeah. Um, so the big thing people talk about on opening day is the pitch up there a long time.
Yeah,
Which is the games to watch.
but and it's that it's not often you get where people can just put their best pitcher out on one given day.
Yeah.
You think even the division matchups, like, it's quite rare that you get the two like aces going against each other. Um,
Yeah.
so it's meant to be fun to be like 30 really elite pitchers, but it's not like that so much this year.
No, it's why it's the changes in baseball, isn't it? Over the last years, it sort of led to that with teams not really caring about having an ace anymore. Well, like the Brewers, who were really last year, but Julius Chassis as their opening day starter. It's like not something you would have had a few years ago for a postseason team.
Okay, well, then that game, in fact, is a really good point. So Miles Mikolas was excellent last year, and I guess some people would put the ace label on him, but I'm not going to do that yet. Um, but he's basically like a gen, had a really good season, and he's probably going to be good this year, and probably going to throw a lot of innings. And Julius Chassin had a really nice year, but like that's not that exciting. And those teams are like division rivals and could both win like over 90 games this year. It's quite reasonable to that, I think.
Yeah, but you,
And that's the pitching matchup. It's just a bit meh.
yeah. Well, you've ranked them, haven't you, in your article that went out the
Yeah,
other day? The top two are quite obvious. I guess anybody. Which way round have you gone?
I went DeGrom, Scherzer, and
The
Verlander Snell.
the battle of the cyclists, isn't it? Both of them
Yeah,
are. Yeah, yeah. Degrom Scherzer is a pretty nice one, isn't it? I guess it's got the extra thing of it being a divisional matchup.
yeah. It's going to be just like those two might face each other more often, which maybe you could argue should drop lower. Also, four Cy Young awards combined, and Jacob deGrom was so obscenely good last season. I'd just about pick that, I think.
Yeah, yeah. The arrays as well are more about with them being all about the bullpen stuff, aren't they? Nowadays, it's like that's might not be such traditional ace like pitching um, competition.
Yeah,
The other
you
one,
might just
it's
get
like
like
Snell's probably not going to go super deep. It's not going to be one of those two guys like scoreless after 8 innings.
no, that's absolute peak baseball when it's
Yeah,
at its best.
yeah.
Yeah,
When it's not really happening, it's also quicker for the people that want the game.
yeah, it
No
would also then no
runs.
home runs. Yeah, just get completely dominated, and the game's over in 2 hours because someone like an error and then wins the game. That's quick. They're going to get people into baseball. I'm not sure.
No, but yeah. So those that you watch back to back,
Yeah,
Mets,
and
Nationals, and then Astros, Rays. Although probably going to be Giants.
yeah, I might have to double screen it for those two. I think I might have double
Yeah,
screen going. I want to see Verlander Snell.
yeah.
Um,
I'm going to try, but I don't know if my laptop will handle it.
I'm not sure what you've got on, so I
What?
could try and get it on the TV as
Yeah.
well. Then I could have three running, I suppose, or just get my old laptop and try and get that going. But that might be a bit ambitious for the Wi-Fi.
It's good. It's good though. Wi-Fi really good.
I don't know if it's good enough for that.
Oh, what? Free? You mean 3 games?
Yeah, might struggle.
Yeah. Um, so on this, who do you like on opening day? These matchups. Which else are you gonna watch?
So further,
I'm-
I'll probably watch Chris Sale because it's Chris Sale and it's on late. I think that should be still going.
Is that the latest one?
That starts at 11, I think, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get that.
Gold West Avenue for the full 3 games in a row.
Yeah,
Opening
I
day
actually
experience.
I quite like Jameson Tyon versus Luis Castillo. I had that 7th on my ranking.
Castillo's a bit bad though, isn't he?
Well, yes, he is. He was last year, but he was really good the year before. And they're both, like, they've obviously both got huge impact on what their teams are going to be this year. Like, they're both kind of trying to compete. Tyon was really good last season. I don't know. I think there's less predictability, so I ranked that quite a bit higher than say, like, I've got John Lester and Mike Minor way down because, like, it's just
Yeah. It's just
you've been watching them for years and they're still good, maybe good, okay, but like,
yeah, John Lester's not that exciting anymore, is he?
no.
I quite like not so much the pitching matchup. I mean, Braves Phillies on opening day. Well, that combined with having the Mets Nationals on opening day, that's the 4 contenders in the most exciting division.
Yeah.
All playing each other. I quite like that. Although that one might not be that close based on the matchup.
Yeah, well, that's going to be interesting to
Julio
see.
Teheran versus Aaron Nola.
Yeah, although it depends how, like, because I think there's a lot of points to Nola being like the guy he was last year forever now, like just this loads of strikeouts, not many guy, but he's also one year as ever. He has pitched quite a lot before and not been that good.
I quite like him though. I don't know what it is, but there's certain players that with 1 year of them being good, you can't kind of dismiss it. But I don't know. With Nola, I kind of feel like he's one of those guys that's sorted something out.
He was really good on rate and velocity and that sort of thing. I agree. I wouldn't bet against him by any means. And obviously, like the former top prospect stuff,
Actually,
you kind of take into account.
Yeah,
But
I think that's a big thing.
But I don't know. I'm still always going to be a bit like remain to be convinced, even if I'm like 95% convinced he's good. It's just, is he that good? Because last year he had a 2.37 ERA.
Yeah, probably not that
obscene.
good. He's probably not going to be that good this year, I don't think.
No, because that's like a ridiculous ask. That's like Clayton Kershaw at his best sort of stuff. And because of their rotation, he needs to be like. So even if we accept he's going to be worse than that, how much worse? Because I don't think they've got that much margin for error with their pitching.
Yeah, he's the one they're sort of banking on, aren't they? They're banking him on him being close to that good again.
Yeah,
and hoping for improvements from everyone else.
I find the Indians Twins one semi-interesting as well, because again it's a divisional game, and Berrios is in a similar spot to Tyon and Castillo, and also a bit to Nola, where it's like best pitcher on the staff probably, or hopefully, and needs to be like the upper end of what you could expect from him.
Yeah.
Because again,
there's quite pressure on, really.
Yeah. So
I think particularly with Berrios, because the Twins are hoping to get back to contending again this year after basically having a year off last year, it seemed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was still competent last year, but he basically seemed really promising, didn't he? In 2017, he had that spell where he was really good and then dropped off. And there's quite a lot of pressure on him to sort of sustain that.
Yeah, and the thing with it's not like one start. If they have a really bad start, baseball doesn't work like that, where it's like, oh, he's having a terrible year now. But
no,
I think opening day is still significant, as much as it's easy to make baseball very, very cold there is
Yeah.
psychological stuff at play, and for a team like the Twins with a rotation I don't think it's necessarily question marks in their rotation. It's just a bit like of a massive shrug. It's like they've got to be solid,
Yeah,
and
it's
even then, it might not be enough.
well, it's the
If you
thing
if you
like
got sorry,
oh, sorry, I'm sort of interrupting you, but I was going to say it's sort of the thing a bit like in spring training, how the spring training stats don't really matter because of the tiny sample size. It's more about like watching them and how they perform
yeah,
rather than if they could give up loads of runs, but it doesn't mean they pitched badly. It's like that's what happens in baseball. It's more about how they look,
yeah.
really.
I think in the case of someone like Berrios, if he got like blown up a bit tonight, you know, like
Yeah,
doesn't make it out of the third or fourth inning and they get smashed. It's one loss. They've got 161 games to make up for it, but that does impact pitchers onto their next start. I think,
yeah.
particularly when you've got the sort of pressure that he has,
I
and
think
they're an
yeah,
interesting team this year as
just
well.
having a strong start, I think can make a big difference, can't it? To like psychologically, like you're saying. That's sort of I mean, talking about the Giants a little bit, they try and not talk about them too much because we just go down a rabbit hole and never come out of it. But yeah, it's quite looking forward to watching Baumgartner on opening day again.
Well, he's going to
I
be an
mean,
interesting one as
right,
well because his last opening day,
yeah, yeah, I don't
home
know. I mean,
runs.
yeah, one of the most clutch performances I've ever seen. And well, that opening day, it's probably I think that's probably the biggest argument I can think of for not having the universal DH.
Yeah,
That one game,
yeah,
it's I mean, it's just like what was it? So did he hit? Did he hit a home run to take the lead? The first one,
yeah, because he was perfect through like 4 or 5 innings,
yeah, and they weren't scoring any runs. Then
and
he
then he
got the
gave up.
lead.
He
Did he
gave
get
up
the?
a home run.
Was that when they were? Did he take the lead with the first home run, or was that?
I think he did. Yeah, I think he took the lead with both home runs. I
But with the
think I
second
remember
one was
that.
after he'd given up runs, so
Yeah,
it was
I think it might be in
perfect.
the
He
bottom
was
of the inning.
perfect, hit a home run because no one else was scoring any runs or giving any offense to put them on track for the win. Then he gave up some runs, and the next inning hit another home run to go ahead again.
Yeah,
I think is that it's the only pitcher ever to hit 2 home runs on opening day. I mean, it's quite a specific stat, but
yeah, but
still,
not many pitchers are going to have hit 2 home runs in a game. Full stop. Like
no,
it was just yeah, that was basically the last time anyone could be optimistic about Giants baseball for that one evening. And that's the best thing about opening day is as much as like well, I spent most of winter looking at projections and judging each move a team's
yeah.
made. Is that going to add half a win?
I
There
mean,
is just most teams I think have like enough reason to think, well, what if this happened and that guy was who he
yeah.
was two
I
years
mean,
ago?
not probably not the Orioles or Tigers, but almost anyone else apart from them, I reckon. It's sort of yeah. It's like well, there's every year with projections. There's always a couple of teams that are quite a way off what they were projected, and it's
Yeah,
sort
that,
of like someone is going to overperform what everyone is expecting and what all the
well,
stats suggest they are going to perform.
and
There is
someone's
going to
going
be
to be
one team
rubbish.
that's going to do it. Yeah, and there's one of the good teams which is not going to be any good.
Someone's going to be rubbish. I think there's a good chance this year it will be. This is very obvious and actually quite stupid. I wish I hadn't started this sentence. It's going to be in the NL Central or East that one of those, like where there's this supposed four-headed race, that it's just not going to end up like that. Like I think there's
Yeah,
one of them. It could be any of them, to be honest. All it takes is like, I don't know, Christian is injured, Lorenzo Cain drops off a bit, and suddenly you're like the Brewers are definitely the fourth best team in that division. Um, or like the Mets do their thing and all of their pitchers get flu for 6 months, and then they lose 25 games to start the season, and then the Mets are worse than the Marlins. So it's the best thing about opening day is how exciting it is for everyone, and even as neutrals, like looking at it, it's like, oh my god, they could all win 90 games, but really, there's a good chance, even in the most competitive divisions, it's going to be is unlikely to even be a 3-horse race, to be